Today we're gonna be raising Yelan. I've really been looking forward to this, super excited, but she is currently level 1. Thankfully, we don't have pretty much any farming to do since we did prepare for her already. There's level 20. We even farmed some extra books. Got turn control there. Level 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80 with like 2 heroes wit to spare or something. Oh yeah, we never Constellationed our Mona. C4 Mona is actually really cool from our previous summoning session. And Yelan here, it's gonna bother me until we do the God mode because I actually prepared so hard we could God mode her. But the raising modes are more as an overview, how she works, and then a little bit of gameplay and team testing, I would say. Just for now, let's go ahead and raise our talents to an adequate level. I would say 666 is usually good for raising. Oh yeah, and they also added this thing. I'm gonna guess that burst is highest priority, and then probably E, and then statistics are being tabulated. Okay, I guess they don't have enough information yet. But yeah, I'm gonna guess burst, E, and then basic, but I could be wrong, because I think she does kind of classify also as a main DPS. I don't really plan to use her that way, but we probably will explore that at least for the God mode. I'm probably personally gonna mostly be utilizing her burst as like a 5-star Xingqiu. Obviously that could change as we use her more, etc. But yeah, I'd say she's pretty much up to raise standards. Let's go ahead and build her now. Obviously if you have her signature weapon, that's gonna be the best, but I usually like to go for 4-star weapons or at least off 5-star weapons, like Elegy for the End, which is still a 5-star bow, so I'm not sure about it yet, but she can get those sigils of remembrance very easily because of her burst. As for 4 stars, I think Sacrificial would be pretty interesting. Of course, we're going to play with her and try it out. This is just kind of the initial build. As for artifacts, I've been thinking Emblem of Severed Fate would be nice because again, utilizing her for her burst, and I think if you are going to be using her in this way, a lot of energy recharge would be good. So in this case, I pretty much would build her like Xingqiu. I kind of just want to take his stuff for now, and we'll see how that goes. I don't think Yelan is a Xingqiu like 5-star replacement, because they do act in somewhat different ways. I've heard Xingqiu is still gonna be better for Hu Tao because of some internal cooldown, but don't quote me on that because it's a little bit weird. We'll have to test that out and stuff, and we'll get to that for sure. But first of all, a quick talent overview. Starting with her basic attack, it's actually not so basic. Spamming her basic does result in a pretty usual sort of basic attack from a bow user, but she has a pretty interesting mechanic called Breakthrough. When she spends 5 seconds out of combat, her next charge shot will be very fast, and it'll be AoE. And the damage of that shot does scale with her HP. As you can see over here at level 6, it is 16.21% of her max HP. So already quite interesting off the bat. Quick correction here, I misunderstood what out of combat meant. And apparently you need to not be in a battle regardless if you have her swapped out for over 5 seconds. You will never be able to get a second breakthrough shot in the same fight unless you reset it with her lingering lifeline skill, which we'll talk about in a sec. You'll also know when you have this breakthrough shot ready because her bracelet down there glows. And when you use her skill lingering lifeline, she'll gain a pretty substantial movement speed boost. Her lingering lifeline does have a tap and hold. You're really only going to want to tap if it's like a single enemy, a boss or whatnot. If there are multiple enemies, you want to hold it and run through all of the little dudes. And when you release it, every enemy you mark kind of explodes with Hydro. There's a 34% chance per enemy pass to reset her breakthrough state, which is that basic attack AoE thing that we were talking about earlier. This does also scale off of her max HP. Almost everything scales off of max HP. Her basic and normal charge attacks don't scale off of HP apparently, but the breakthrough barb, the special big AoE basic attack does scale off of HP. So yeah, but anyway, when you do her burst, it'll deal damage at first, again, based on max HP. And then there's this dice that follows you around, and similar to Xingqiu, similar to Fischl, it'll do coordinated attacks when any other party member on the field does basics. It'll also happen when Yelan's lifeline explodes. Although I imagine that's gonna happen a lot more often just because someone is doing a basic attack. That's not all, of course, with her burst. We do have a passive here, Adapt with Ease. So as long as this little dice is on the field doing those coordinated attacks, you get 3.5% extra damage per second, up to 50% extra damage. That's actually a lot. Granted, that will take about 14 seconds to get up to the maximum damage number. Does it really last that long? It lasts 15 seconds. So you can have maximum damage for about 1 second. Later in the video, we'll test if that damage accumulation works, whether you're swapping in and out characters, or if there are like independent things and you can only get the maximum damage if you stay with one character. after Yelan. That would be kind of weird. Hope it's not like that, but we'll see. And then her other passive is pretty separate from anything else. She basically just gets an HP increase depending on how many different elemental types are in your team. So for a Yelan focused team, you definitely want to have 4 different elemental types, because at 3 different elemental types, she only gets 18% max HP, and then the 4th nearly doubles that to 30. Although personally, I do kind of doubt it would be worth like not having Pyro Resonance plus like, you know, Binny and Yoimiya, for example. I kind of want to try those two with Yelan. So at least for now, I'm not going to bother trying to have 4 elemental types for that extra 12% HP. So those are pretty much her talents. Let's take a look at her constellations. Wow, well, her C1 already sounds super good. Lingering Lifeline gains an additional charge. I mean, with a 10-second cooldown, that is a surprisingly good C1. C2 actually also sounds really good. There'll be an extra water arrow from her coordinated attacks that deal 14% of her max HP, which actually could be quite a lot considering, you know, you're gonna want to build a lot of HP on her. And then C4, what the hell? All of her constellations sound actually insane. Up to 40% max HP bonus for 25 seconds. For every opponent marked by Lifeline. It's not hard to mark 4 enemies as long as there are 4 enemies there. It's not going to be as effective versus like single enemy bosses or whatnot, but most of the time in Abyss, there are at least like 2, 3 sometimes. Yo, what the C6 actually sounds awesome. Like, not just strong, but fun too. When you use her burst, every one of her normal attacks will be these breakthrough barbs. Apparently you can only do 5 arrows before the mastermind state it's called is cleared, but that sounds crazy. Like, that sounds really fun. This is probably the first C6 that has really tempted me to get a C6 character, honestly. Maybe Ganyu's a little bit as well, but this one just sounds really cool. Obviously can be insanely strong as well, but it sounds fun. And that's more important for me personally. Very cool C6. I think she's a fun character regardless, but dang, that just brings her to the next level. So yeah, with that being said, I don't think Xingqiu's artifacts are actually gonna do her justice considering this is probably attack, and we definitely want HP here instead. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any HP sands on this set, but we can probably figure something out. So yeah, she's currently sitting at 25k. I would like to get her more, but I'll probably save that for the God mode. For now, again, it's more of just a demonstration and an overview of the character. Well, we got her up to 26. That's about the best I'm gonna be able to do. So I guess we're gonna try and build a team around her. Again, this is just preliminary stuff. Please don't judge too hard. You can, of course, give your own suggestions and stuff in the comments, but this is just me showcasing her how I would initially try her, and that's probably with a team similar to this. I do want to try Hu Tao as well, but yeah, here are her stats for now. Just if you're curious, it's nothing impressive. Pretty big focus on energy recharge. Crit ratio is pretty okay, but the crit damage is low. Just keep in mind she could be built a lot better. Really thinking stringless as well. If you have her C1, I probably would go stringless, but for now I really want to, you know, have more elemental orbs and do her E more often with sacrificial, but stringless I think is a very good option as well. Elemental skill and burst damage by 48. And I guess since Yoimiya will kind of be our main DPS for this exercise, let's take a look at her stats as well, just so you have a general idea. 2200 attack, 80 crit rate to 180 crit damage, a little bit of energy recharge, pyro damage, crimson set. So yeah, first of all, let's just see how she plays by herself. So we're going to, okay, we can't jump apparently while in this mode, but she can do it again. And boom. I mean, that's doing a lot of damage, actually. I know I said we're not going to focus on damage numbers, but... Ooh, and that's a big AoE. Where did that guy go? Yeah, we're doing like 11k, and she has her burst just from herself. Okay, we're going to go ahead and use her burst. Very nice. Now with basic attacks, everyone should be getting hit. Let's see what those are doing. 4k each. I think there's, what, 3 of them? Her burst is gone, but it's already back. So you can have a very high uptime on her burst because the duration isn't much shorter than her cooldown. I think there's like a 3-second difference. That's actually insane already. I'm so impressed. One quick little thing while we're playing with Yelan here. If you are enjoying the content, subscribing to the channel is most appreciated. Less than half of you watching are currently subscribed. What is wrong with you? Why? Did your father actually never return with the milk? Let's try that a bit more here. We're going to go ahead and pass through the enemies. And was that a 27? Her little E attack is doing 27k. That's insane, considering how poorly she is built. Let's go ahead and throw a Binny boost in there. We need to heal up a little bit anyway. Oh yeah, I guess I just kind of realized that that's not gonna do much. Like, her E isn't doing any extra damage, which makes sense because it scales off of HP and not attack. Ha! Well, I still think for this team in particular, once we actually start using everyone, Binny's still gonna be good because Yoimiya obviously benefits. The last daily quest was just giving an old man a dandelion. So that was basically solo Yelan versus daily quests, I guess. So now I want to test this rising damage stuff with her burst we were talking about, her burst passive, where you get 3.5% damage per second. And I want to see if it matters if you're swapping characters. Again, a little tricky because there's no damage stat. It's not like you get an attack boost or anything else. So basically we have to use 3 bursts. With the first burst, I'm just gonna do Binny basic attacks. With the second burst, I'm just gonna do Zhongli basic attacks. And then the third burst, I'm gonna do first half Binny, second half Zhongli, and we will look at the numbers and see if they make sense. So first of all, Q, and then, so we're 857, 1685, 17, 1950. I wanna only pay attention to crits, honestly. 2162, 22, as you can see it is going up a little bit more and more, but now it's gone. All right, we have our burst back. Let's go ahead and try this with Zhongli now. All right, 2150, 2200. We could get one final crit off in there, so 2200. That was the best for Zhongli. Then we're gonna start with Binny and go to Zhongli and see if we can still get a 2200. All right, let's go ahead and give this another try. We're gonna start with Binny. Just attack a few times, whatever, maybe for the first 5 seconds or so. And then we're gonna go ahead and head to Zhongli and make sure that we still get this 2200. If we can crit at one point, please. 2201. I think that was the same right before it ended. So yeah, basically to say it doesn't matter if you're swapping out characters, they will all share this damage increase. At least that's what it seems like from this less than scientific test, but yeah, I mean, looks good to me. And actually I'm really liking Sacrificial for her. She can usually get her burst in 3 or less E's, and Sacrificial really helps with that. Of course, when you're using all the characters and everything, it should go even faster. But let's go ahead and try her burst real quick and an E, and then switch to Yoimiya just while we're here at Masanori anyway. Yeah, so it's a little bit hard to see, but I just saw a 72k from our Yoimiya. I don't think I've ever seen that high from a basic. Actually, Jesus, no. I've definitely never seen that high. 60 was maybe my max, and that was maybe even with Mona. I think a part of it definitely does come from that damage boost with her burst, and also the fact, you know, we have consistent vaporizing going on, which again, because of some kind of internal cooldown thing, I think is better for Yoimiya. Let's do another quick run here. Oh, can we hurry up and get her burst? Yeah, we got it. All right, cool. Yoimiya, go ahead. Yeah, dude, that's insane. I think we're getting more vaporizes than normal. Well, we're outside of Binny boost now, which is a little bit unfortunate, but still, Yoimiya just shredded the absolute hell out of Masanori. I need to rearrange my team a little bit though. Zhongli first, then Binny, then ending actually with Yoimiya. Make it a little bit smoother. We don't necessarily need Zhongli. It's just nice when we're testing stuff to not have to worry about getting hit and interrupted and stuff. Well, actually, I think Zhongli is very good for Yoimiya, especially because she doesn't want to get interrupted. All right, let's go ahead and give this a shot here. Just gonna do Yoimiya, and then we're probably gonna do a Yoimiya tap as well to get some energy back. And then, yeah, let's just go ahead and start it here with, Jesus, 73, dude. That's crazy. Wow. We probably will come back to Masanori to try Yelan with Hu Tao. We'll have to wait a bit for that though, because Hu Tao and Yoimiya actually share a good amount of gear. Let's start with a Mikoto here. Please don't move around too much, Mikoto. All right, here we go. Actually, she can move around a little bit because Yoimiya is ranged, which is always cool. Yep, absolutely shredding. Like, dude, already almost at half, this Mikoto. I don't think we'll be able to kill her before she gets her shield. Oh no, my Yoimiya, why do you only have 15k HP anyway? She actually went out of shield pretty quick as well. Well, maybe not quicker than usual, but 87, I just saw an 87k from my Yoimiya there. I feel like it's definitely more consistent. Sometimes with Sing Show, you know, things might or might not vaporize. But her, it just seems like you do her burst and everything is good from our Yoimiya. 87k from a basic attack, think about that. You know, that's insane. But yeah, that was definitely one of the smoothest Mikoto fights I've ever had, I would say. Just had a little hiccup with our Yoimiya dying, but that was just me being careless, and she has 15k HP for some reason. I mean, she is built a bit like a glass cannon, so that's to be expected. It's been so long since I fought the Thunder manifestation that I kind of want to give that a try, especially because Yoimiya, in my opinion, is probably one of the best units versus this boss, if not the best. It's really quite annoying with its floating around everywhere, but Yoimiya can just basic attack it. All right, here we go. Thunder manifestation. Oh my god, dude. Can we just kill it before it does anything? I think we can. Oh, and we got an achievement. Not sure what for, but let me check it real quick. It died in like 10 seconds, dude. That's so crazy. Defeat a thunder manifestation without being hit by its homing thunder cage attack. Did it? I don't think it even did that. So yeah, we didn't get hit by it. That was by far the fastest thunder manifestation, like by a lot. I really don't like that boss because he's so annoying. That wasn't annoying. That was me spamming Yoimiya's basic for like 8 seconds. Wow. I don't know what to say, dude. That's crazy. But yeah, of course, I definitely do want to try her with Hu Tao. I'm more or less going to swap out Binny and Yoimiya, I guess. We're going to have Hu Tao and Albedo instead. This is my general team, just Xingqiu instead of Yelan, up until now. I guess it should be Yelan first, because I want to take more advantage of Albedo's Elemental Mastery boost. So we're going to try it like that. All right, let's just go ahead and do her burst and throw an Albedo burst down as well. And then go ahead. So let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure. I did just see a 100k. That's not super usual for my Hu Tao charge. That's more than usual. It would make me kind of sad if Xingqiu just straight up got outclassed, like big time. So I'm honestly really kind of hoping that Yelan isn't as good, like at least for Hu Tao or someone. It's just super hard to see if anything is actually vaporizing, but I don't think so. Like some of those are. I think it might be some kind of, is it that Hu Tao's first attack is vaporizing, but not her charged attack? Is that the thing? That might be what's going on. Because I did notice definitely that the way her burst, like arrows, fly around is a different consistency, for lack of a better word, than Water Dude's. Okay, that charge attack definitely vaporized. I don't know, it's really hard to see anything. Some of them are, but not like all of them. Let me switch back to Water Dude and really pay attention. Let me see. Yeah, I think that is definitely more consistent when it comes to Hu Tao. I think every one of her charge attacks did indeed vaporize, whereas it wasn't the same with Yelan. I'm not sure about all the intricate details, but that's just what it looks like to me right now. We don't actually really need Albedo, but it's kind of hard to see outside of the big damage numbers what is vaporizing and what is not vaporizing. Yeah, the smaller numbers are when she's not criticaling, but there were like five vaporized charge attacks in a row. I am pretty sure that didn't happen with Yelan. I know this is getting repetitive already. I just want to swap back to Yelan because I kind of know what I'm looking for now. I can definitely see bigger numbers with Yelan, but if it only happens half the time, what's the point? Okay, that was a vaporize, that was a vaporize, that was a vaporize. I don't know what to think anymore, because now it is consistent again. All right, once again now, that wasn't, I think, that wasn't. I'm seeing criticals, but they're only 40k, so I'm assuming those are not critical, not vaporized attacks. But what I think is happening is that her basics are getting vaporized. It might be because Yelan's burst fires differently than Xingqiu's, whereas Xingqiu's like kind of gathers the swords up at his head first and then fires them down, and that gives Hu Tao time to first, you know, do her basic, then the swords hit, then she does the charge attack. But with Yelan's arrows, it's not all at once. It's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in a way. It seems like there is a certain rhythm you can get into so that they're vaporized, but it seems more random. Like you might be able to get a few in a row, but then like it's not working anymore. It's so weird. Maybe it just happens too fast. Like you see, there's the basic and the water arrows follow so fast behind. I'm thinking that might be it. Let's compare that to Water Dudes here. Yeah, there is a bit of a delay. It might just be that couple of frames needed that works with Hu Tao so well. It's possible I'm completely wrong and there's a totally different explanation, but that's what I can gather right now anyway. I was actually at range with Yelan, so I want to get close to him as I would be. Yeah, you see how fast that is? It's like almost at the same time as the normal attack damage pops up. From what I can tell, Xingqiu is going to be more consistent, but you know, that up to 50% damage boost from Yelan's burst, you can't write that off. I don't even know how I would do the math to see if the trade-offs for less consistent vaporizes would be worth the added damage. For Yoimiya, I had a way better time with Yelan than I did with Xingqiu, so there's that. I'm sure she could work on some other teams as well, but this is the main thing I wanted to explore for the initial showcase. But yeah, make sure to tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you have any other tips or team suggestions, etc., etc., I'll make sure to keep them in mind for the God mode. Dropping a like or subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, And until next time.